What? Okay.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her.
Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review video. I haven't done a review in what feels like ages, but this company here called SuperSponge sent me their product and I am pumped, like so pumped to try it out. They did send me this, but this is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to talk about it, but they did send it to me. They sent it to me in 3 different colors, a pink, a purple, and a teal. And basically what a SuperSponge is it's very similar to a beauty blender or another, I mean, it's a beauty sponge basically, but they are claiming, it says it on the package here, save 4 times makeup, limit germs, and stay clean with its revolutionary silicone infused sponge. So if you look at this closely, the sponge, this part that's darker, it's actually like a little bit like of a rubber film, well, like a silicone film over it. And this is meant to save on product, so it's not soaking up the product. But this part down here is the regular sponge material, feels very similar to a beauty blender or my favorite, the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, but it's meant to not soak up as much product in this portion, and then also limits germs. So because it's silicone infused, the germs won't be able to penetrate, like product won't get stuck in the middle of the sponge, and then also stays clean. So same thing, stays clean. There's not product being soaked up into the center of the sponge. It's going to get stuck there no matter how many times you clean it. I generally don't have that problem with my beauty sponges because I tend to wash them after every use. Like this one's dirty, but that's because you have to wet a sponge before you use it. I generally just clean it before I use it. So like this would be clean for probably 2% of the time. Because I use it, it stays dirty until I use it again, basically. This is super intriguing to me because, one, remember those silicone, like the things that looked like the chicken cutlets you put in your bra when people were selling them as like beauty applicators? I was like, okay, wait, no, I don't, I hate this. I really hated it. It was basically like this little silicone, I don't even know what to call it. It was stupid. It was like slapping plastic on your face. I hated it. And the concept of that was that it wasn't going to soak up any makeup. You were going to be able to use less product. It was more sanitary, all that stuff, but I hated it. So this kind of fuses those two ideas together. The functionality and like the, you know, overall favored beauty sponge, but with the added benefits of staying clean and being more sanitary and stuff. So I'm super excited to try this. I have no makeup on my face right now, but we're basically going to do my normal, like everyday face routine, and we're going to see how this works. I have a cup of water here because this is still dry. We're gonna dunk it in and we're gonna see how big it gets. Okay. Oh, it's kind of weird because the silicone part like isn't getting wet, obviously. I mean, it's wet, but it's not like soaking up. So it's all soaking up towards the bottom of the sponge. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't matter though, as long as it works. Okay, so she got pretty hefty when I wet her. Kind of weird to squeeze it because like you have to squeeze it kind of like from the top down, because otherwise all the water will stay up there here because there's no water being able to like penetrate through this. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm squeezing all the water from like the bottom. I'm gonna take just my washcloth here and squeeze it out a little bit more. This is generally what I do when I wet any sponge. I cannot speak today. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really like cannot talk. Oh, I forgot to mention. So this bottom part, it comes in this case, which is nice that you have a case. And then this bottom part, if you can see it, it kind of looks like, you know, the Sigma like brush cleaning mat. This is meant to be like a scrubber for your sponge. So once you use it, you can store it in here and then also use this bottom part of the case as like a scrubber. You like put some soap and you scrub your sponge with it, which I think is so cool. But yeah, this is what she looks like. I'll compare her to, this is what it looks like before and after. So it didn't really double in size, but maybe like probably like 30% bigger than the original. But when I feel it, it feels very similar to the density of an e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, somewhere between like an e.l.f. Total Face Sponge and a Real Technique sponge. So not as airy and fluffy as a beauty blender, because I find the regular beauty blender is a lot less dense than other sponges. I'm actually just gonna wet the beauty blender. We're gonna tell the difference. So size wise, pretty similar. This one feels a lot softer and like more, it feels less like a regular sponge, if that makes sense. I don't know. It feels more latex-y, if that makes any sense. If you feel it, you would know. It just feels a little more dense and like but it's fluffier at the same time. I have no idea. Feels different, but not much different. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, so I'm just gonna clip my hair back just to get it out of the way. I don't know how anybody, like I see all these girls on Instagram do their full face of makeup with like their hair everywhere, and I'm like, how? But let's prime and prep. Do I even have a primer in here? Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna grab a primer. I've been loving this primer lately. It's the Prime Plus mattifying and pore reducing. Really cannot talk today. Oh my god. From Revlon. I didn't even say that part. You guys, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna go off camera and do my eyes and my brows, and then we'll come back and do the face, right? That makes sense, right? Because the sponge doesn't really matter for that part, and I also would like to maybe take a fucking speaking lesson in the time that I'm doing my eye makeup, because I literally can't talk today. Don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we will be back. Okay, we've got brows, we've got eyes, we are ready to do our face, and hopefully I am ready to speak English properly. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and spot conceal. I'm gonna apply this with a brush, I mean, usually I just apply it with a brush, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna do a little blending. We're gonna do, you know, a little something. This is the Kevin Aquan Sensual Skin Enhancer, if you care. Just gonna put it on a few of these little blemishes. My skin is clearing up, but it's not the best. It's getting there. But I'm sure the moment it clears up, I will get another breakout, because that's just kind of how quarantine has been going. And I know the world is like supposedly opening back up, but like I don't believe it. I'm not going outside. I will still be quarantined for the next probably 2 months. I ain't going out there until, I don't even know. I really don't. Okay, so we're spot concealed. Let's use, I don't know if I'm really supposed to use what end I'm supposed to use. But let's use the silicone part first. Oh wow. That's actually really blending it out easily and picking up all the extra product. With this exact product, this Sensual Skin Enhancer, you need a very little bit. So picking up extra product is definitely a good thing. It's a little weird feeling on the skin, I'm not gonna lie. Like it feels a little like plastic, because it kind of is. But it's not the worst. I thought I was gonna feel weird about it, but it's not bad. Okay, so I guess we can go on with foundation now. I'm gonna use my current favorite foundation, the Shiseido Synchro Skin. It's a really great foundation. I don't know, I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but it's a good one. So if you're in the market for a good full coverage, lightweight. I did 3 pumps like I usually do, and I probably should have done less because this is supposed to like save product. God damn it. They sent me an email. Let me read their email about the sponge. Okay, the darker area of the sponge is silicone infused. This area blends and buffs and doesn't absorb foundation. It is stain resistant and will clean like new after each use. The bottom is uncoated and works like a regular premium sponge. It is good for picking up any excess makeup if necessary. The little base on the bottom of the case is good for drying in the scrubber. Okay, I guess I'll start off with the silicone side. And what? Okay, so when I first put it on, it like, that was really weird. Like all of my biggest pores, it just like showed them. Does that make sense? Like the foundation covered literally everything except for like didn't go inside the pore. So it just looked like I had ginormous pores for a second. That was really weird, but that also blended out really quick. Okay, what's happening? It also like, it seems like it's going on really full coverage. Like this foundation doesn't usually look this full coverage when I first put it on. Interesting. Okay, look. Do you see that? How like I put it on and it just like doesn't sink into the pores right away. So it looks like I have huge, ginormous pores right there, which I kind of do, I guess. But that's really interesting. You have to like push it into the pores. If you can hear that through my mic, it sounds a little slappy. Yeah, I'm actually pretty damn impressed, and I feel like I'm using less product because it's just sticking to this and going right back on, so it's not being absorbed like it usually would with my regular sponge. But you see over here by my nose, I'm going to use the spongy side for that because I do get a little cakey there. That actually helped already, but you can see my nose has those little pory spots. This is interesting. Okay, I think I put too much product up here. Yeah, let me just use the sponge side and soak that up a little, because the sponge side feels really nice. It feels just like a beauty blender. Okay, now I'm just using the sponge side, going over, I guess, to pick up any product and blend the way I normally would, I guess. But I actually really like this. It felt a little weird, like the slappy part, you know, like this part, but it actually blended out really nicely. Okay, around my nose is a little interesting. Yeah, honestly, I can't really tell a difference if this is any better or worse in terms of like application. It looks pretty normal. This is literally how I normally look when I apply my foundation, with usually the e.l.f. sponge or a beauty blender, but lately I've been loving that e.l.f. sponge, so it's usually that one. But so far, foundation, we're good. And then that's what it looks like. The bottom is all dirty, but the side that I didn't use on the silicone side completely, I want to like wipe it and see. Let's just see. Okay, wiping didn't do that much, but I'm sure it needs to be like actually cleaned with like soap. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the Il Makiage Fuck I'm Flawless concealer. Yeah, it's just a concealer. Okay, that's a pretty good shade. Okay, so let's go ahead and blend out this concealer now. I'm gonna use the silicone part for most of it, just to see. And then if we have any excess product, we can use the sponge side. What I'm really interested to see, we will get there, is how this is gonna apply my powder. Haven't even thought about that until this moment. Like, how is this silicone part going to apply my powder the right way? We shall see. Ooh, okay, I'm not... under my eyes, not digging this. I feel like maybe I put too much product, but it's just like, I guess because it's not absorbing any excess product, it is really, really sitting there. Okay, but that looks beautiful on camera. Okay, well, for some reason, like the little crooks of my nose have been so dry and cakey lately. I need to just stop putting concealer there, because it just draws attention to it. Okay, now we're gonna go in with powder. I'm alarmed. I really don't know how this is gonna work with the silicone side, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna just try to do it the way I normally would. Okay, well, that is definitely not soaking up any product, y'all. That is laying on a lot thicker than it usually would, because it's not picking up any product. But we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep doing it the way we normally do it and see how this thing works. And it not picking up any product might not be a bad thing, because I do tend to bake recently, so it might be exactly what I need in terms of a powder applicator. I also really need a new one of these, but they're sold out on Ulta.com and I'm sad about it. I feel like I like this for applying baking powder, because it's like, I feel like I have to pick up so much baking powder when I apply it, because the sponge just soaks it up, and this is like the opposite of that. Like, look how much freaking powder is on my face. Okay, well, my whole chest is covered in powder. Like, that's nothing new. I will say, even though there's a lot of powder on my skin, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go finish up my face and everything, and then when I get to the point where I want to brush off this powder, then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts, because after that point, we're done using the sponge, basically. I mean, we're done using the sponge now. I want to figure out how it all looks, like how did it applied after I'm done, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay, so I'm done with my makeup, and honestly, I'm gonna look up close. I'm gonna zoom you guys in too. So honestly, my makeup looks beautiful. I really like this thing. Honestly, truly, I think this is a really cool, revolutionary tool that is gonna keep, especially in times where we're very cautious about sanitarity, cleanliness. Sanitarity, really. I think it's just a really great way to do your makeup in a more germ not friendly way, because fuck germs. I think it applied my foundation. It was a little bit of a learning curve, I won't lie, just because I tend to not like a slappy sponge, and because of the silicone it is a little slappy, but I really like it. My makeup looks really nice and flawless, like really nice and flawless. I actually think that applying the powder with this gave me like the perfect amount of powder on my face, and so I really kind of love it for that. I also love that it has this little scrubber thing, because I wash my sponges every single time I use it, and it's good. I mean, it's good to have like a little case and a little scrubber. I love it. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for this video. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. I don't even know the price. Let me look up the price. Okay, so they are $20, the SuperSponge. So that's the same exact price as a beauty blender. I kind of like this more than a beauty blender. I've been like, lately, after I discovered the e.l.f. sponge, I don't really like the way beauty blenders apply my foundation anymore. I have to say I like this as much as the e.l.f. in terms of applying my foundation and everything. I like this as much as my current favorite, which is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. Today, after that added benefit of like applying the right amount of powder I need, I don't want to say I like this more, but like it does have that additional benefit. I also love that it's germ resistant and stain resistant because I use them every day. Like they're gonna get kind of funky. I also think that this helps me use less product, which in turn helps me save money because I don't need to buy new product as frequently. Love that it has the little stand scrubber thing because it does, like, I didn't even show you guys this, but it sits perfectly onto it. So your sponge isn't rolling all over the place, which is something as a beauty influencer, when I film these videos, my sponge is always the first thing to roll off my table. So I love that it has this. Right now I'm seeing on their website that it says 25% off when you order 2 and free fast USA shipping over $29, which is great. Okay, let's see. Did they give me a coupon code? I don't have a coupon code yet, but I'm going to email them and see if they want to give me one. And if they do want to give me one, then I will leave it in the description box for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this thing. I definitely recommend it to you guys. $20 is expensive to pay for a sponge, but if you're gonna go between this and the Beauty Blender, I would definitely go for this one. But yeah, I love you all so much. If you're new here and you watch all the way till the end, then make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. It really helps out my channel and my page. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video.